Alright, lovely. So, you may be surprised to see that I am making a part 2. Don't worry, I'm as surprised as you are, because I never actually do these kinds of things where I consistently keep up with a world or a story or a plot or whatever the fuck you want to call this. But I really like Skyblock, so I thought I would continue. Blue egg. Alright. Yes, chickens. So, from where we left off, I had destroyed my only water source, save for this one, like an idiot, and so I now need water. I watched the last video a bit just to see, whether or not the video was actually solid, and I noticed that the audio mixing was terrible. And I do mean just properly terrible. It was not good. Honestly, I imagine the audio mixing now is not that great. But frankly, I think I'm just going to... I hope this is a good amount. I'm not totally sure. I'm not an audio engineer. I'm not good with this kind of stuff. I just sort of woke up and then turned on my Minecraft. So I hope this sounds good. If it doesn't, sorry. But beyond that, we're back to it. So the plan for today is to get water, because my destruction of water last time was really embarrassing. Embarrassing to a degree that I don't even want to think about it. It was pretty bad. But if you also remember, there should be a stream of water that way that we'll be able to take. And we're going to be careful this time. We're not going to lose anything. I won't let the water go to waste. And then once we have an infinite water source, I mean, sky's the limit, you know. I just need an infinite water source first. So I'm going to be doing this. Grabbing a bunch of cobble to eventually make a big ass slab bridge, because well, you need a slab bridge, you know. That's just how it is. So let me shove my shit in here. Doink, 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 doink. Doink. Okay. I don't want to carry too much valuable on me, because if I do, I know for a fact I will fall or drop or die, or something along those lines. And I'd rather not do that right now. Oh, shut up, chickens. That's mean. The chickens didn't do anything. Oh, free egg. Thank you, chickens. See? I was being too harsh. Anyway, the water's over here in the cherry blossom areas. So the plan is to get the water. Wow, I went far. I went a lot further than I remember. Wow, okay. Oh, diamonds. I think I had that exact same reaction last time. I don't know. But we're gonna build over. Whoa! Baby zombie. Fucking hell. Can I reach that? That actually startled me. That baby zombie. Get over here. I want to kill you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. There. Lovely. Perfect. Alright. Bucket. We got water. We got an axolotl. Also. Hang on, we gotta run. There's a skeleton. Okay, dope. Okay, we made it. Well, we haven't made it, quote, quote, yet. But I have a bucket with an axolotl in it, meaning, presumably, that I will be able to have infinite water, so long as I don't screw up like I did last time. Another egg! These chickens are perfect. Ugh, I love them. They just lay eggs like nobody's business. It's actually crazy. Okay. Let's set all these in here. Get the axolotl bucket. Get my bucket. Okay. So, this time, we're not... Ooh. We're not gonna fuck it up. Alright? That's what it was. So, we have that there, like this, there. Okay. Now, if we take a gander, you'll notice. What? Perfect. Axolotl. What should we name it? I'll think of a name. I'll think of a name. We gotta give this thing a bigger, like, place to swim, I think. This is not big enough for a growing axolotl. Oh, get in the bucket. The cutest predator. True. Alright. Well, we'll find a place for an axolotl soon. For now, let's just keep it in there. I mean, hell, maybe I'll even take to the comments, you know? If you've gotten this far, which would be surprising, but if you have, comment what you want me to name the axolotl. And if it's, I think it's fitting or good, I'll integrate it. So. Obviously, if it sucks, I'm just going to insult you in the comment section. So, you know, don't drop anything too terrible, or I'll have to, you know, drop some unkind words your way. And we don't want that. We don't want that. Like, don't walk up to me and say, let's name the axolotl like Richard. You know, like, Richard's a fine name, but it's not a fine name for an axolotl. You feel me? It just wouldn't fit. I don't think it would fit. Is my point. Anyway, I'm going to continue expanding my base somewhat. Doink, 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 doink. Doink, 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 doink. Doink, doink, doink. Plunk, 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 plunk. Alright. You know, I would like some music to kick in. I really do like the music of Minecraft. It's just not playing right now, I suppose. I only have 8 left. It's unfortunate. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Alright. Up there. Up to... Oh. Oops. Ah, it's fine. Hey, it's becoming day. We only had to interact with one fucked up creature. What are these potions? Swiftness and leaping? Strength and regen? These are ass. You know what I think? No, you don't. You're just watching a YouTube video of a guy playing Minecraft Skyblock for... Oh, no. Jesus. Fucking phantoms. It's daytime, jackass. Oh, no. Damn it. Oh, I lost a bucket. And a hoe. That's unfortunate. But, this isn't a hardcore world, so I don't give a fuck. We're gonna keep going. Besides, it's not like I don't have a bucket. I have my axolotl right here, to be named. I'm sure we'll be able to find a name tag somewhere, and maybe I'll even, I'll give it a good name, you know, depending on the comments. If there are any comments at all. I don't know. You know, my last video, I posted it, and it was the first video to my channel I've ever posted publicly. Most of my content's either unlisted or private. Because truthfully, I don't really post it for the world to see. I post it for my friends and people who want to see it, you know, to see. So my last video, I got a lot of people messaging me, talking about the video. I won't drop any names specifically, of course. And even if I did, I doubt many of you would recognize the names. But I remember being messaged by someone talking about my Skyblock and talking about how, you know, I'm about to become, you know, a new Minecraft YouTuber. And I thought that was funny. In part because it's not the first time I've ever posted Minecraft online on YouTube. I've done it before, actually, a few times. But most of my videos are, you know, hidden, unlisted, unseen. Not that they contain any private information. I guess I just wasn't really, not comfortable with the idea, but I guess I just didn't really want to. Something about showing off your voice and your skill to the world is a bit disconcerting, I suppose, compared to a friend who you know will, I mean, if they respond negatively, it's going to be in jest. So, yeah. I don't know where I was going with that. I guess I just wanted to say that my video drew eyes from people that I didn't expect it to draw eyes from. Anyway, I think it's about time I create a, not farm, farm's not the right word, create a cattle zone. That doesn't sound like the right word either, frankly, but I want to turn, oh, damn it. I want to turn this whole area into one big livestock farm. I want to do husbandry and get resources from animals. You know, that's always something that got to me. Modern day Minecraft, if things like pigs and cows were not already in the game, would not be added to the game. The way Microsoft handles the development of Minecraft with their whole real-life animals can only be added if they can be non-violently given a resource from it, that's always, I don't know. I wouldn't say it rubs me the wrong way, but I think it sort of detracts from the spirit of what Minecraft actually is. I've been playing Minecraft for a long fucking time. Alright, like a long time. Over 10 years, easy. Maybe even 12 years. And one thing that's always, I suppose, back then, I really enjoyed was the sort of, I don't know if authenticity is the right word, but it just felt, I guess it just felt like it was a game made by, like, a guy. You know, one person. And I'm not going to defend Notch here. Notch is a absolute piece of shit. Oh shit. Do I have any... Hang on. I'm just gonna make a fuckload of sticks. 1, 2, 3. I'm not gonna defend Notch. Notch is a piece of shit whose, you know, spot in hell is guaranteed. But I guess I just sort of miss when it wasn't so corporate. There was a sort of purity to that old Minecraft that modern Minecraft just can't really grip. And yeah, I know, I am clouded by nostalgia. I'm very aware that my eyes are, you know, if rose-colored glasses could be rose-colored glasses wearing glasses, that's what I would be wearing. Because I love Minecraft. I've loved Minecraft for a long time. And, you know, I suppose I'm a little embarrassed that after years of playing it, there was an era of time before 1.14 that I guess I just found it kind of cringe to enjoy Minecraft, right? Like, I found it a sort of embarrassing marker of someone if they were old. I say old. If they were my age at the time and still played Minecraft. Like, I don't know how old I was, 15, 14, before 1.14 came out, and I got back into Minecraft, like, actually. I guess I'm a little embarrassed that I found it embarrassing. I don't know. Back then, I wasn't a very happy person back then, back in, you know, the 2017, 2018, 2019 era. Not to say I've been a happy camper since 2020. But I think there was a different sort of, what's the word? Atmosphere is not the right word. A different way in which I was unhappy back then than I am now. Because back then, when you're young, when you're a kid, I guess it's just not as a sophisticated of an unhappiness as compared to now, me being 20 years old. 21 in about a month, almost exactly. There was just a lack of sophistication to my unhappiness. And so, with that, I sort of projected outward my disdain onto things. With absolutely zero self-reflection. There was no internal processes by which I analyzed my thoughts and actions. And because of that, I reflexively would consider people cringe for liking Minecraft. I remember, I don't remember exactly, that's a lie, but I remember partially. There was an instance in which a friend of mine, good friend, still friends with them in fact, but a friend of mine was talking about some stuff they had done on Minecraft. And I don't know if I said it to them or if I thought it at the time. It's been a while. But I remember thinking something along the lines of, you still play Minecraft? You know? Because to me, back then, I guess it was difficult seeing someone play a game that authentically gave them enjoyment. You know, oh, I apologize if you hear the rumbling of engines and shit. There's a lot of assholes in the neighborhood who like to blare their motors and drive down my street for some inexplicable reason. But, where was I? Right. So, there was just a lack of self-reflection, and because I was unhappy, I found it easier to be rude and to think lesser of a friend, like a real friend, like a friend, for an interest that was ultimately harmless, and if anything, was helpful. It contributed to their joy in life. You know, we only get one. And I spent much of mine, at least much of my earlier times in life, being shitty to people. And I regret that. You know, we shouldn't be shitty to each other. We really shouldn't. It's not right. But, I don't know. We can't help it sometimes, can we? It's so easy to be mean. It's too easy to be mean. It's too easy to say something that can really hurt someone. To do something that can really, you know, harm a person who maybe doesn't deserve it at all. Maybe I'm a bit too wistful about this one instance in my life, because something tells me she doesn't remember. But, I remember. That's how a lot of things like this go, huh? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, perfect. The person who does the action, the shitty action, be it, I don't know, maybe they insult someone, or they're a little too rude in one instance, to someone they care about, not just to a random stranger, but to someone they care about. The shittier, the person who did the shitty, doesn't remember it, or doesn't forget it, but the shitty-e, the person who was, you know, I guess the victim, doesn't. It's not something they recall. It's a sort of, if you think about it, it's a sort of reverse of that one, sort of, proverb's not the right word, that one saying, the axe forgets, but the tree remembers. In a way, it's sort of like if the axe was the one that remembered. I'm sure we all have instances like that. Every single person who is watching this has had an instance where they were maybe a bit unduly shitty. Or maybe they were having a bad day and they took it out on someone who didn't deserve it at all. We've all done that. It's what happens. But it's so hard to disconnect yourself from the, I guess, shame and embarrassment of knowing that you have these fallible human emotions and processes, that you can't help it, you know. I like to pride myself on thinking that I am not as maybe emotional, not as susceptible to emotional outbursts as people, you know, like me, other people. But I am. And thinking that I'm not as delusional. You know, I'm not a big fan of talking about myself, truth be told. I typically feel like I'm a bit egotistical when I yap on and on about something relating to my life. But in this instance, in this format of a Minecraft video, wherein no one is here, no one is standing around, no one is behind my shoulder, no one is in chat, I have no other choice but to talk about myself. Because there's no one else to talk to. But I suppose that's sort of the beauty of the format of a YouTube video, isn't it? A viewer... Oh, shoot. We're losing stuff. That's okay. A viewer gets the benefit of hearing someone talk. Maybe talk about themselves, or talk about things in general. The viewer gets that benefit. But the talker doesn't. The person who's talking has to maintain an appearance in a conversation in a way that they wouldn't normally have to if you were actually here with me. 1, 2. One apple. You know, I decided to record this video at night. Currently, as I'm recording, it is 10:28 p.m., August 9th, 2025. And I chose nighttime because, well, truthfully, just at home in general, I'm always dealing with things while it's day. People walking in, people talking, people asking me to do this or that. And the nighttime is the one time of the day I truly have to myself. Truly have to myself. But another part is I think nighttime is just a beautiful sort of hour. How should I do this? Damn. Don't mind me. I'm trying to get grass to hit there. No, nighttime, I think, is a time for reflection. Humanity, for tens of thousands of years, has spent nighttime in fear. Yes, nighttime can be scary. How did I fuck this up? Oh my god, look at this tree placement. What? What the hell did I... I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to distract. That was just so bad. That was just terrible. I don't know how I fucked up the symmetry there. Anyway, humanity has spent thousands of years using nighttime not just as a point to rest or to, you know, watch out for predators, but to tell stories. Humanity has always told stories. That's a given. Our capability to talk about things that are not real, cannot be real, and could never be real is a really unique trait. But I think that humanity tells some of its best stories at night. Alright, that startled me, but that's okay. Now, humanity tells some of its best stories at night. When the brain is sort of winding down from the day, and it knows it can enter a state of sort of relaxation, rest, you know, and thinking about the worries of the day and move on to, I suppose, the worries of the night. I think in that moment we have a lot of creative potential. I'm sure there's some sort of scientific or physiological reason for that. You know, maybe it's not a better time. Maybe just having a tired brain makes you believe a story to be better than it actually is. Because I've had plenty of instances in my life where if I hadn't heard that story, that joke, that fact at night, it would not have been nearly as impactful, as funny, as memorable. I don't know. The nighttime's just a really powerful time, I guess. No one really thinks about it, but it is, you know. And I think there's something beautiful about sleeping, too. Isn't it fascinating that humanity, one third of our entire lives, is spent in this state of rest, this state of silence and, you know, darkness, memory, maybe. It's such a fascinating component of not just humanity, but of, I guess, life itself. From my understanding, scientists dimly understand why we need to sleep. They know the effects of what happens when you do not sleep. But the true answer as to why do we sleep is unknown. When you explain to or ask a scientist, why do we sleep? The scientist will say something like, well, you need it to get rest so you don't, suffer hallucinations and delusions and whatnot. Sorry, I'm going to take a drink. Give me a moment. Water. No, but you ask a scientist why, and they'll explain to you the reasoning behind it in a way that is more referential to the fact that it's a necessity. But if you ask why it's a necessity in the first place, they'll shrug their shoulders. They don't know. No one knows why. We just have to. And sure, people have made theories. It's because the brain needs to flush, time to reset, time to incorporate and think about the information synthesized from that day, yada yada yada. But I've never found any of those compelling. It may be true that the brain does do that while it's sleeping, but why does it need to do that? Why does sleep have to be the mechanism by which it achieves that in the first place, Why sleep? Why not do some kind of quasi, I don't know, awake, like still conscious, still active, but maybe it's just a bit slower? Why not do that? And the answer is we don't know. And what I think is fascinating is that there is no animal, I should say, on Earth that can escape this. There is no creature that is free from the sleep trap. Every creature sleeps. Every. Dolphins, sharks, mice, insects, spiders, humans, dogs, cats, gazelle, Arctic snow fox, Antarctic ice fish, doesn't matter. They all sleep. And I just don't understand why. Has evolution, and all of its impossible fucking powers, how has it not developed a creature that just doesn't need to sleep? Oh, fuck. That just doesn't need to sleep. Why? Oh, it's snowing. Why does every single creature need this? There are animals who spend the majority of their life asleep. You know? Cats, lions. They live their entire lives in this state of rest. And we just don't understand why. And so I've always found sleep to be fascinating. There is something about sleep, some component, some truth, some mechanism that we don't yet know that makes it essential for life. I find that fascinating. Got more potatoes. Just need a real square here. Okay. Where am I in the quest book? Build cobble generator. Done. Done. Plant 5 trees. Well, I have planted 5 trees total, you know, but currently I only have 4. Plant my first crops. Done. Breed a chicken. Done. Get my first coal, iron. Done, done. Melon seeds. Harvest 20 carrots and potatoes. We're getting there. Enchant a weapon. Okay. So we've gotten pretty far on the quest tree. I would like to hit every island before I start, you know, throwing in the towel on this world, but I'll take that. We'll see how far we can go. So, one thing I know I want is wool, because I need a bed so phantoms don't touch me. Oh, there are those villagers again. Let's mine this wood. Wait, do these guys all good? They do. Why didn't I take this? Sorry, gentlemen. I might have explained why in the video I didn't take it, last video, but I don't remember it, and so I couldn't tell you. We're gonna go put this over here. You know, I know the game lets you sleep through thunderstorms, and I know why it lets you do that, but I don't know why you ever would. Thunderstorms are so rare in Minecraft. Not like the most rare thing you've ever seen, but they're rare. They're rare enough to be a significant event when they arrive. And you can just skip them. I suppose I don't understand why anyone would want to do that. Well, I say that, but even if I say that, I don't know why. People would want, you know, to make sure their house isn't struck by lightning and caught on fire and they lose everything. I get that. I suppose I am just more willing to have my stuff burned down for the sake of beauty. Love Minecraft thunderstorms. I say Minecraft thunderstorms as though I don't love real thunderstorms too. One of my favorite pastimes. When a thunderstorm, you know, is to go outside and watch it roll in. I know that's not like a unique perspective. That's not the first time any human's ever done something similar. People do that all the time. Do you see that? Do you see that spider fall? That's crazy. Oh my god, creeper, oh my god. No, but I'd love to watch thunderstorms roll in. There's something so fucking beautiful about the majesty of nature. Oh, what? Oh, you bitch. Oh. Is the music too loud? The music might be too loud. Put that to 70. It still feels kind of loud. I apologize if my voice has been barely coming through. Sounds a little better. Why the hell are there so many? I got nothing. Wow, that's a lot of water. Holy shit. Oh my god! Oh my god! Why are there so many mobs? Oh. Okay, well. We're gonna sleep through this night. There we go, lovely. Carrots. Think. Okay. Ah, I see the grass has moved a little more. Awesome. I would like to have a nice chicken. I want it to be like chicken, pigs, and then like cows and sheep. You know, I would set up some more stuff for horses too, but yeah. Bundle. How do you make a bundle? Leather and string. Huh. You know, I remember they teased bundles like 5 years ago. And they only just recently added them. It cannot be that hard to implement a bundle. You know those videos where it's like, developer adds in Minecraft update in 3 days? Like modder, you know. I think those videos are interesting, but it also neglects a lot of the process that comes with making an update like that. See, Minecraft, we're very fortunate that Minecraft really hasn't changed what it is too much. If Microsoft wanted, Minecraft could be a lot greedier. It could be a ravenous, disgusting mess of predatory practices and constant microtransactions. And I know what you're thinking, alright? I know what you're saying. You're pointing at your screen with your you know, smarty pant cap on saying, but is that not Bedrock Edition? You have to buy mods. You have to get mine coins for skins. That seems predatory to me. And it is. And I don't support that one bit. I just also think that compared to what it could be, the fact that none of that type of shit is mandatory to have a functioning Minecraft experience is beautiful. I mean, Minecraft is one of those games that once you've bought it, you can play every single game on Earth. You know? There aren't many games like that. There's like Minecraft Gary's mod. And once you've bought them, you can play any game in existence. There are mods that exist to cover up any, gap, any potential, need to play certain types of games. I assure you that if you have bought Minecraft, you can play nearly every single game that's ever been made. I think that's great. I think that is a fucking amazing thing. I've always believed that games need to be more accessible, I guess. There need to be libraries for games. Online libraries. Now, I know we have things like Internet Archive. Okay, I know. But I mean sanctioned, funded via tax dollars that allow people to put up games into areas, I guess, online, and allow anyone to play them at any time for free. Now, you may be wondering how the devs would make money if, everyone could just play their game for free. And to that I say, the games are already free. Let's not pretend like piracy isn't a huge market for video games. People pirate the shit out of video games. I would honestly go as far as to say it is one of the most pirated pieces of artistic media ever, behind TV and movies, if not more. Honestly, it wouldn't shock me if video games were pirated more regularly than movies or TV. So I think if we're going to have a system that already allows us to play any game we want for free, I don't understand why we wouldn't just sanction that at that point. Make it accessible, make it so the devs can actually, maybe get a bit of a reward, exposure, more public, I guess, loved public perception, a greater endearment to the broader population, by allowing them to just let their games be pirated. Not pirated, they are being pirated. By allowing them to let their games be put into movies. Not movies, holy shit, sorry. I'm very tired. It's 10:51 p.m. By allowing them to let their games be put into libraries for all people to enjoy. Because I think art should be something that should not, at any point, be gated from anyone. Art is probably the best part of humanity. There's nothing like it. No creature can make art like us. Yawn. Sorry. No AI can make art like a human. No divine, magical lightning strike of God could ever create anything as beautiful as art humans can make. And, video games are an art, and I think art should be celebrated completely. I think locking art of any kind behind any kind of paywall or platform or subscription. I think this is abhorrent. I think this is not an insult to art itself. That might be a bit of an exaggeration, but it certainly spits in the face of what I think art should represent. Art should not be something only people in a particular class should be able to enjoy, you know? I think art should be something that anyone can enjoy at any time, for any reason, in their own way. I mean, if you're watching this, I apologize if you heard that. If you're watching this, you seem like an intelligent person. You know, I think you probably share my view on that front. But, you know, a lot of people don't. A lot of people are sort of stuck in this mindset of all products have to be made with profit or money or some kind of valuation in mind, when that's not the reason for like 90% of all human art, if not more. Most of human art was created for purposes of wanting to make art. Now, do I have a source for that? No. But the fact that we have, I don't know, 10,000 years of written history and tens of thousands of years of unwritten history that includes us, you know, like whittling wood into little statues, sculpting, painting on cave walls. Humans have done most of our artistic sort of actions with absolutely no thought of money in mind. I would wager that a lot of art existed simply, like a lot of human art has existed before money even was like a conceived notion that could exist. Then my pickaxe is about to break, just be wary of that. I don't know when exactly it will, but it's coming, so. It might be this next one, actually. Yep. Now, most art has been created without the not concept of money, but without the idea of money in its head. Because art is just a human creation. It's just beautiful, you know? We'll create because we want to create. And we want to create because we like it. It's not much more complex than that. Humans like creating pretty things. We like looking at pretty things. We like knowing we're the ones who made the pretty things. And we don't need money or profit or incentives to do that. Anyway, that was kind of a ramble. Point being, I think video games should have libraries. And if, I don't know, I keep shadowboxing as though anyone would come in and disagree with my opinions that I'm making 54 minutes into a Minecraft Skyblock video. But I'm sure, hypothetically, not you, of course, I'm sure you're very attractive and intelligent, but other people, I'm sure, would probably say that I just want free games. I just don't want to pay. I don't want to, you know, spend money playing a game like GTA 6. I'm not willing to spend the $90, and I just want to play it for free. Because I'm, I don't know, greedy, a cheapskate. And maybe to an extent that's true. I don't want to pay $90 for GTA 6. But I'll tell you, I have paid money to games that I have already played. I've paid money to games that I have played and finished simply because I wanted the people who made the game to be rewarded for good work. You know, games are fucking difficult to make. I've been trying to try my hand at making a game recently. And oh my god, the amount of things you have to keep in your head just to do the most basic of maneuvers is incredible. Incredible. Actually incredible. People do that shit, and it's... I don't know how they manage it, frankly. I don't know how anyone could be like a programmer and just know the programs they're using and making and constructing and how it all connects. It's so much. And I think if you have that skill, if you have that knowledge, if you have that ability, you should be rewarded. Because it's not easy. It's just not easy to do those things. So, yeah. Well, I just kind of, yeah, I feel like I hadn't really talked much about the actual things I was doing in Minecraft all that much. Remember, if you're still here, I want you to name the axolotl. I don't know what it will be named yet, but I want you to name it, because I don't want to make a name for it. I'm sure maybe next time I play, I will try and create some sort of aquarium swimming den for it to live happily in. But until then, I think I'm honestly going to call it here. 57 minutes in. Well, I don't know. Maybe I'll wait the 3 minutes for it to be exactly an hour, right? Sorry, I drank some more water. I get thirsty. You know, speaking this much does make me really thirsty. That's probably not surprising, because the constant vibration of vocal cords. I mean, vocal cords are they muscles? I think they're muscles. And like any muscle, they can get, you know, overworn and tired and used, basically. And so water just sort of lubricates it a little, in a way that I need. You know, if you've ever read, if you've ever read out loud for an extended period of time, you know what I'm talking about. Oh, look, it's like the classic Skyblock thing. Now, if you've ever read out loud for an extended period of time, you know what I'm talking about. Ooh, don't kill me, please. That sort of dry ache that bubbles up in your throat and makes you really not tired. Tired's not the right word, but it sort of fiddles with your ability to keep talking. You know what I'm referring to. You know, there are a lot of people I've seen who can just speak for hours. Just hours. Take like a live streamer, you know. That's a human being who can just talk for hours. And truthfully, I don't know how. I don't know how you can talk that damn long. I sure as hell can't. Honestly, this like hour-long video stuff is kind of the extent to which I can talk for an extended period of time without break. Holy shit. Yeah, no. Things like this are probably my extent. But there are people out there who can just talk forever. I have a lot of respect for that, don't get me wrong, but oh my god, I could not do it. Give me that lapis. Ooh. Redstone. I know I said I was going to call it, but one of my favorite tracks turned on for Minecraft. I wonder how many times I've listened to that song. You know, you ever wonder that? If you've ever played Minecraft, I'm sure you know what I mean. You know, you're just playing it. And, well, you know, the same songs play over and over. And I, undeniably have thousands of hours in Minecraft. Thousands. I'm not willing to say tens of thousands, but it wouldn't surprise me. And I have probably heard these songs hundreds of times. Even when I'm not playing, let's say I was watching a Minecraft video, I have probably heard these songs an incalculable amount of times. You know, when I die, I hope I get to see some kind of statistics of my life. I would love to see... I feel like I could spend an eternity looking at statistics of my life, you know? Times, like number of times I took a breath, number of hours I spent looking at a screen, number of hours I spent just talking and making noise, amount of snores I've taken in my entire life, you know? I feel like I could get a good kick out of that, personally. But, I imagine when I'm gone, I won't get a fun little screen describing all the various ways in which I live my life. I imagine it'll just be nothing. Well, I don't want to put the Minecraft game down on a sort of low mood. So, you know. I guess I'll try to think of something happy. You know, puppies are cute. I like puppies. I don't know. I can't really think of how to recover the conclusion of the video from that sort of grim conversation. So maybe, instead, we should just watch the sunset together. You and I. Wow. Take a screenshot. Isn't that beautiful? Minecraft has always been a very beautiful game. It's so simple, but it's just so ripe, you know? Polished. You ever seen a sunset in real life? You've probably lived through thousands of them. Thousands of sunrises and sunsets. Think of all the ones you never watched. Well, if when you're watching this the sun is already set, tomorrow, set an alarm. Check your clock, go online, see when the sun sets, and go out and watch it. If the sun hasn't set, do it right now. You know, maybe not right now, it might be 9 a.m., but do it today. Go outside, find the west, and well, look up when the sun sets and watch it. Watch the sun go down. Don't stare directly into the sun, of course. I would never imply you should do that, but you should try it. And maybe watch a sunrise, too. Though I don't think those are as pretty. As I've said, I think nighttime is the apex of sort of human creativity. And so, wait for the sun to set. Maybe you'll get some creative juices flowing, Ah, well. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Don't like or subscribe. I really don't care. But do comment what you want to name not Richard. We're not naming it Richard. But comment what you want me to name the axolotl. Alright? Thank you. I hope you have a good night. Or day. And I hope you watch the sunset.